In math method, sometimes you have sometimes you have to solve this kind of question. Okay, in this kind of question, you have been given the value of sine or of an angle. Okay, and they ask you to solve what is the tangent of the same angle or the cosine of the same angle. Okay, there are two ways of doing this question. Okay, I show you both ways now. The first way to do this kind of question is you have to draw a triangle. Okay, let's draw a triangle there. Okay, because we know sine alpha is 0.2, so put it in fraction. Sine alpha is 2 on 10, which is 1 on 5. Okay. Now we label the angle alpha on a triangle and label the hypotenuse and the adjacent. Sorry, the opposite and the hypotenuse, because sine of an angle is its opposite on hypotenuse. So in this case, the opposite is 1 and the hypotenuse is 5. And we have our angle there. The hypotenuse is 5. The opposite is 1. Now we need to find the value of the adjacent. Use Pythagoras theory. A squared plus b squared equals to c squared. Okay, and 1 squared plus b squared equals to 5 squared. So b squared equals to 25 minus 1, which is 24, and b is square root of 24. Now we know the length of the adjacent, which is square root of 24. Okay. Okay. Because now we can find tan alpha. Well, tangent alpha is rise over run or the opposite on adjacent, with the opposite is 1. Okay. Now the adjacent in this triangle is square root of 24. Use Pythagoras theory and basically draw a triangle. And adjacent is square root of 24, and this is your tan, the value of tan alpha. Okay, cos alpha, which is adjacent on hypotenuse, which is square root of 24 on 5. Okay, it's the first way to solve this kind of problem is just draw a triangle, label the angle and label the hypotenuse and the opposites, and find the missing length of the triangle by using Pythagoras theory. Okay, and once we labeled everything on the triangle, we can just find tan of the angle or cosine of the angle. Okay, the second way of doing this question, you have to use a formula, and in math method you have to remember this formula. Okay, I show you. The formula is cosine square of an angle plus sine square of the angle equals to 1. Okay. By the way, this symbol here means basically cosine theta square. Okay. We write it in a simple form like this in in trigonometry. Okay. This formula is very important. Okay. Even though you don't want to well, even though you don't use this formula to solve this kind of question, you still have to remember it. Okay. Now, that's the first method. That's the second method there. Okay. Now, we know sine theta equals to 0.2. So sine theta square will be 0.2 square, which is 0.04. Now we just fit it into the equation where we have cosine square plus sine square theta. Well, sine theta square equals to 1. We input this, substitute this in our equation. Okay, so I have cosine theta square plus 0.04 equals to 1. Cosine theta square equals to 1 minus 0.09 0.04 equals to 0.96, and cosine theta equals to square root of 0.96, which is the same as the answer there. If you put it in calculator, it should be the same. Once we have cosine theta, in order to find the tangent theta, it has to be remember tangent is cos theta on sine theta. Okay, this is the other formula you have to remember. Okay, I introduced it before. Yeah, sorry, it's the other way around. Okay, sorry. Tangent theta is sine theta. Tangent of an angle is sine of the angle divided by cos of the angle. Okay. Now, if I want to know tan theta from this question here, after I have sine, the value of sine tan alpha, okay, after I have the value of sine alpha, sine theta and cos theta, I just divide them, which is sine theta is 0.2 and cos theta is square root of 0.96. Okay, and well, this is they are basically the same value. Okay, if you can check them on calculator, they should be the same value. Okay, and this is how do we solve this kind of question when they given you the value of sine of an angle, and they ask the cosine of the same angle or the tan of the same angle. We either just draw a triangle, or what we can do is use these two formula. Okay, which way is easier? Well, I think the first method is easier, but if you prefer the second method, so I don't have a problem with it. And yeah, this is a very common. This kind of problem is very common in year 11 chapter test. So please make a note. Sometimes it happens in year 12 final year exam, but rarely. Sometimes they ask only sometimes. Okay.